Hello everybody, Resonance here, and today I have a very big channel update video for you all, although I am a little bit sick today. This video contains some major changes to the way I structure my content. So anyway, during this video I'll be going over the current state of my YouTube and Twitch pages, as well as my plans for the future. For those of you who are new to my channel, again, my name is Resonance22, and I'm most well known for starting the first Age of Empires 2 channel back in 2009. I cast expert tournaments, do gameplay videos, viewer games, tutorials, and more. Since then, I've made over 600 Age of Empires 2 videos across 2 channels, as well as a ton of videos for other games. My goal on YouTube and Twitch has always been to make strategy games of all kinds more approachable for everyone. And so, through my weekly Twitch TV live streams and my analytical style of commentary, I hope to lower the barrier to entry and help more people understand exactly what makes games like Age of Empires 2 and Pokemon so compelling. These types of games have always kept me happy, even in my darkest hours. And so I want to share with each and every one of you both the joy of casual gaming and the deeper strategy that lies beyond it. To me, life is all about creating fun experiences for people, whether by making games, making videos, or being an exciting and approachable host during a competitive tournament or Twitch stream. Since I created my second channel, we've since grown to a whopping 50,000 YouTube subscribers, so I wanted to start off this update video by thanking all of you for your support. These channels have been some of the most fulfilling hobbies I've ever had, and I look forward to continuing to bring you all more awesome content. Everyone here helps in their own way, whether by leaving a like rating, a comment, sharing my content, not using adblock, and also the people who go the extra mile to donate or subscribe to me either on Patreon or Twitch. Over the years, I've gone through a wide variety of different jobs, and my longest career by far was with Forgotten Empires. I had such a wonderful time working with them for 2 years, and then transitioning into my current volunteer position that I have right now. Unfortunately though, I am currently and suddenly unemployed, as the company I left Forgotten Empires for had a series of unexpected layoffs that I was caught up in. I won't sugarcoat it. While my resume looks quite solid, this is still very bad timing, and I'm not in a stable financial situation right now. I deliberately never created a Patreon page until recently, because I never wanted to ask anyone for money unless I actually needed it. Same goes for donations. I'd only ask for them if I needed the help. YouTube and Twitch has always been both a hobby and a passion for me, and one I've sacrificed 6 years of free time to sustain, even while working 60-hour work weeks. And that's because I have such a wonderful community here, and YouTube and Twitch are things I enjoy doing so much, that I never wanted to let them go, even when I barely had the time to do so. I'd always find a way to keep at least one video and one stream every week, even though it earned me very little money. Because it's never been about the money, it's always been about the passion and the community that drives me. And so, I'd really like to continue producing YouTube and Twitch content, and there's maybe even a glimmer of hope that with your support, I could put significantly more time into it, or at least until I find a new job that can pay the bills again. While I figure out what I want to do with my life, I've decided to create a Patreon page, which should hopefully sustain me until I get my next job, and also as a way to provide a bit of extra support for the channel in general. Creating videos is time-consuming, and the equipment required is expensive. If through this video I can convince 100 of you to pledge just $1 a month to my Patreon page, and keep that pledge going, then that would make a tremendous difference in my quality of life, and also in my ability to continue producing YouTube and Twitch content. If I don't reach any goals though, don't worry, I'll still be producing videos. But I also want to use this as an opportunity to be able to put more time into my channels, if I can afford to. I have a lot of plans for special videos, and if we can hit $200 a month, then I will release a comprehensive Age of Empires 2 balanced discussion video later that same month. That's just going to take a lot of work, but I'm getting there, In the meantime, while I look for a new job, unfortunately though, I am in a bit of a financial pickle. The YouTube adpocalypse this year hit me very hard, as I was a member of Maker Studios, which now no longer exists, leaving me vulnerable to automated predatory and false copyright claims, as well as just reduced ad revenue in general. In addition, YouTube has recently rolled out this new policy where their automated system decides to demonetize my YouTube videos completely at random, losing me what little income I already had. This forces me to manually dispute it, and of course I always get my video back eventually, but then I lose almost all my ad revenue, because most of it comes during the first week. Thankfully, I have managed to circumvent this innovative and user-friendly system a bit by uploading videos weeks in advance, but that's not always possible to do, unfortunately, and Well, I guess now you know why I upload videos so far in advance. The cat's out of the bag, everybody! Resonance has been unveiled! Basically, life is a bit of a struggle right now. So that's why I've created my Patreon page, and I hope that I can convince some of you to take a look at it and maybe pledge a few dollars. I'm running out of nasal decongestants. So anyway, Twitch isn't a great source of revenue either, unfortunately, but combined with YouTube and Patreon, I should be able to produce some awesome extra content for you all during my job transition period, and beyond that as well. All it takes is just a $1 pledge, and being able to maintain that. And if you can't, then at least not using adblock, leaving a like, a comment, and sharing my content around helps out quite a bit too. I'd love to have more community presence, so if you see anyone asking for a good build order or tutorial, then perhaps send them my Night Rush tutorial video. Thanks in advance. Another major thing that you can do to help me for free is by supporting the content that I do for games beyond just Age of Empires 2. I've always believed that variety is important to keeping your existing viewers engaged and to also grow your own community by bringing in people from other games too. In addition, variety content exposes people from other gaming communities to Age of Empires 2. So when you support my variety content, then you're not only helping the channel, but you're also helping grow the Age of Empires 2 player base. Almost everyone has fond memories of playing this game as a kid, but few people know that it still has an active online player base today. So together, we can help fix that by supporting my other videos. You can find a link to my Variety Games playlist in the video description below, and I encourage you to check it out at the end of this video. Thank you so much in advance for your support, I really appreciate it, and over time, it does make a big difference. So now let's talk a little bit about recent channel stuff. I actually do read everyone's YouTube comments, and whether or not that's a good thing for my own sanity is up for debate. But basically, when you write a comment, you can assume I've read it, and I always factor in your feedback. I just don't have time to respond to every comment individually, of course. So when one of you takes the time to respond to a comment on my behalf, politely and correctly, that definitely helps too. For example, I'm very aware that some people prefer my solo casts, and I'm also very aware that the last Break the Meta episode, while awesome, was also rather meaty. As I said in that video, future Break the Meta episodes will be in the traditional format. I just felt like I had to do it that way, because the replay itself was so short and so ridiculous. I hope you enjoyed my analysis regardless, but rest assured, they will normally be a constant commentary over a replay. This means that yes, I will be returning a bit to the status quo, so there'll be the usual flow of solo AoE 2 casts from me coming, a little bit of Pokemon from some earlier streams, as well as some specially edited videos just for YouTube. I'd also really like to do one more Break the Meta episode before Christmas, if we can hit that next Patreon tier. Oh, lastly, I forgot to mention that as part of my Patreon, I'm proud to announce that we did recently hit that $100 goal, which means that until I get a new job, I'll be live streaming at least 2 days a week. I will still be live streaming Age of Empires 2 every Saturday at 1 PM Pacific time as usual, and you can find my live stream schedule by going to my Twitch page, and also by following me on Twitter and Facebook, links below or on the screen. My Twitch streams are the best place to ask me questions, so please do come by and say hello. As of this recording, I'm still figuring out the details on the extra streams, but I'm thinking I'll do them every Friday at the usual time, starting on this coming December 1st actually, so stay tuned. Jeez, I did not expect to be sick to do this video. This is tough. I'm gonna see if I can get through the rest of this. Okay, so I'd be happy to do a follow-up video later in December that talks more about my plans for the future in greater detail, because right now things are still really up in the air. Getting laid off was extremely unexpected, and now I'm honestly not sure what I'd like to do with my life next. So while I think about that, let me give you a few tangible things that I plan to do if I have the time and if people want to see them. I'd definitely like to do a comprehensive Age of Empires 2 expansions balanced discussion video, another standard Break the Meta episode, another video on Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Yes, that's true. You just heard it here first, folks. I will do another Galactic Battlegrounds video. Some more Pokemon, Hearthstone, Duelist, etc., some other games mixed in. And I've even considered doing something radically different as a side project, which is maybe a game review or two of some games you've probably never heard of. Some of these I put as stretch goals on Patreon because I still unfortunately need to pay the bills, and this is my only source of income. But I'd really like to do them anyway, and regardless of what goals we do reach, I'll still be able to field out the usual content as always. I do feel like my channels suffer from a couple of small problems. One of which is that the content that I do can feel a bit repetitive at times, and I've tried to address that with more topical AoE 2 videos, as well as playing other games on the side. and I'll continue to improve on both of those. I think that perhaps if I get enough time and funding to produce more tutorials, I won't have to explain basic concepts as much, and instead I can focus more on advanced strategy, which might help. Then the hope is that all of you share my tutorials around, and that way I become the go-to guy for in-depth, well-explained tutorial videos. I already have a really solid Night Rush tutorial, and maybe it's time for another one in the future. Tutorials are extremely time-consuming to create, usually taking several weeks to a month. So if I do make another one, which I'm sure I will eventually, it will take some time. One other problem I'd like to solve with my channels is by, from now on, splitting my future content starting in late December into 2 distinct categories. My community viewer games will be focused on my usual coaching style of commentary, and will serve as either introductory videos to Age of Empires 2, or just silly, crazy formats. The second category of videos I will do are expert game casts, and I want these to be focused mostly on advanced tips and strategies and in-depth analysis. That way experienced players can learn from and appreciate it. People often tell me that my channel is a great stepping stone for new players, but once they learn all the tips, they tend to move on, and now I hope with these changes that some of them will return. From late December onward, I want the entire Age of Empires 2 community to know that I will do regular content for experienced players as well. With your help spreading the word, come late December, I hope to revitalize my channel by bringing back more experienced players, since they will now have something regular to watch. I've already tailored my expert game commentaries toward advanced tips, and now the main difference is communicating this split to everyone and doing a little more expert games in general. My channel should offer something for players of all skill levels, and with your help posting around about this channel update, the community will know that my expert games are advanced analysis for experienced players, and that my viewer games are either great coaching for new players, or in some cases, silly games that we can all enjoy. I will title or thumbnail my videos appropriately to differentiate these styles. Let me know what you think of this split, and hopefully some of you can help spread the word about my change in style. And of course, if this doesn't turn out to be an improvement, I'll go back to my usual mixed style of commentary, but I'd like to give this a shot and also hear what you think. Another problem I have with my channels is that I think I don't show enough of myself through my videos. They just aren't that personal. I've tried to mitigate that recently by showcasing some of my favorite games, like when I streamed Kirby on my birthday, and I think I'd like to do more of that. If I ever get replaced by an evil robot Resonance from the future, I think you'd have a hard time telling that guy apart from the real Resonance, because I just don't show that much of myself. I really only talk about AoE 2 strategies, which, to be fair, is a huge part of my life and personality, but there is a little bit more to that I'd like to show. The robot Resonance would probably just be like, make more villagers, H+C to create villagers more efficiently. But the real Resonance, well, for example, do you know what my favorite Pokemon are? Or what my favorite console multiplayer game from my childhood is? What about my favorite first-person shooter? Do you know what my favorite card game is? Or what class I main in Guild Wars 2? What are my favorite heroes in Dota, League of Legends, and Heroes of the Storm respectively? And what role do I play? Note that some of those questions I've never actually answered, but some I have. Also, this is the part where I do my Resonance thing, where I remind you all that yes, it is okay to play all 3 of those games, play whatever games you like, nobody cares what game you think is better. But anyway, Kirby was extremely refreshing for me. I don't think I've had that much fun in a while, and you can really tell when you watch the video. So if you'd like to see some genuine joy from me, then I highly suggest you watch it after this. But more importantly, besides the miscellaneous facts about me, what I think is the most important is understanding exactly what it is about those games that drives me to them. Why do I like Kirby so much, or Guild Wars 2, or Pokemon, or Armello, or that card game that I never mentioned that I play all the time? The good news is that I think most of us know the reasons why I love Age of Empires 2, and I think that's great! I'd love to do more topical videos like that, where I explore exactly what makes Age of Empires 2 so great on an individual level, and maybe for fun, what makes some of the games that also define my childhood so unbelievably bad. The reason I suggest a game review or two is because gaming has always been my escape, and I think it would be a really fun experience to tell a story about how some obscure game managed to have such a profound impact on my life, either positively or negatively. I'd also like to do more opinion videos, analysis videos, and the likes, just to find more ways to express myself. Maybe I could even do some videos on how to start a YouTube or Twitch channel, or how I got started in the games industry. There is a lot more to me than what is apparent from my Age of Empires 2 commentary, or the same 3 questions that I get asked during my live streams. And I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Yes, I think AoE 3 is a great game, I love it. I just think it's really different from AoE 2. And no, you can't change your screen resolution in-game in AoE 2 HD, I don't know why they removed that feature, you have to change your desktop resolution. And lastly, my 3 favorite civilizations in AoE 2 are, in no particular order, the Britons, Byzantines, and Ethiopians. I have actually been asked this a few times before, but just so you know, my favorite Pokemon are Arcanine, Vaporeon, and Goodra. Basically, I want to share more of myself with you all, and I think it fits into my mission of why I make AoE 2 videos in the first place, which is to share what makes me happy with others. The hope is that if I'm having fun, then more of you will too. As always, I'm open to your feedback, and it's great to have such a friendly community here. I know most of you by name since I read all of your comments and chat messages, and so many of the comments that I read always brighten up my day. Even when, like right now, when I'm in a really difficult spot, it doesn't take long for me to find and read a YouTube comment that manages to make me smile. You're all wonderful people, seriously. And for the small minority that aren't, it's great to see everyone responding to those comments on my behalf to help keep the community pleasant. I've been giving it some thought and I still need to think more about this, but I feel like the ultimate goal for me is to somehow find a way to either work on a game that means a lot to me, or somehow find the means to build one myself. I'm in a weird position where I'm extremely qualified to do community management, but it's hard to find a company that values the input, and I'd love to actually do some design work or balance work on a game directly. I just never had the free time to work in any indie games when I was at my previous job due to the long hours. But maybe trying that again will give me some purpose. I also never really had the time to take a closer look at the way I structure my content, my Twitch streams, or even my Discord. And those are things that I'd also like to take a closer look at. The Discord is the primary reward for my Patreon supporters, as well as a major reward for Twitch subscribers, so if you'd like to join in on the fun there, and can maintain a subscription, it's the best way to chat with me after hours. And of course, since I know that not everyone can afford a subscription, I'll still be responding to comments, reading Twitch chat, and being just as available as I've always been, if not more so. But still, I'd like to show a bit more of myself during my normal content, and I think that I can still do that too. If you have any ideas for future content, games you'd like to see me play, or encouraging suggestions for me, then by all means, please do let me know. So to reiterate, here are a few of the things that you can expect to see on the horizon. This is all TBD though, because things do come up, and also the more funding I have means the more time I have to spend on YouTube and Twitch videos. But these videos I have planned and have started to work on already. There will eventually be a comprehensive Age of Empires 2 expansions balance discussion video, another more standard Break the Meta episode, another video on Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, some Pokemon, Hearthstone, Armello, and other games mixed in with that, maybe a game review or two, maybe another tutorial, and lastly, the possibility of miscellaneous topical content that some people have asked for, such as how do you start a YouTube or Twitch channel? I'd love to hear if any of those ideas sound interesting to you. And if you're still not sure as what to leave for a comment on either this video or in general, it's always really helpful to hear the things that you like about my style, my videos, or your favorite videos of mine, so that way I can keep doing more of those things. There are actually a lot of obscure games that I've played in the past which have made such a large impact on my life, and I think it might be interesting to explore those and tell a story. I'd love to do some topical videos or game reviews where I explain exactly what it is about these games that I enjoy so much, or in some cases, drive me absolutely crazy. For example, there's this one very obscure Japanese-style shoot-'em-up game I played a lot as a kid, with its jarring mixture of absolutely brilliant design and unfathomably frustrating mechanics that really define me as a person today. One idea I had recently was, what if during my extra streams, or after my usual Age of Empires 2 game, I played a wide variety of miscellaneous games on stream that, had a large impact on my childhood. The idea is that as long as I have the free time to do so, I'd be able to stream those games and use that as a way to interact with the chat and have fun, while simultaneously collecting footage that I would later use in an edited and scripted topical video. In theory, that gives me more time to have fun and interact with everyone, while also giving anyone that watched it live still something special and unique to look forward to on YouTube. It also means that I don't have to oversaturate my channel with just gameplay videos, and also that anyone on YouTube won't get bored of seeing me play the same gameplay videos for hours and hours. Instead, it would just be a single topical edited video, and then in some cases, a separate gameplay video from the stream on top of that. You can expect me to experiment with my style of videos over the next month or two, quite a bit. But rest assured, I'll still be reading your feedback and maintaining the usual status quo uploads and commentaries alongside that. So I'm very curious, would anyone be interested in seeing those kinds of variety streams and videos? I'd also be happy to let my Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers vote on the extra games that I play. I wonder if that would solve some of my problems of trying to tailor my content for both Twitch and YouTube. And if anyone in the comments thinks it would be funny to see me rant about a game, or conversely talk about why it makes me just so happy to play it, then I'd love to give it a try. Really, I'm just looking for ways to mix up my formula and redefine myself a bit. Over the last couple of months, I've shifted my commentary style a bit toward more a topical style video, and I've also been offering more advanced tips, so hopefully the community at large is aware of that. I want to be known for not just being a stepping stone for new players, but also that I offer some of the deepest in-game strategy analysis when casting. Anyone can point out what is happening on the screen, but few people can describe the why, and that's exactly what I try to do. Anyway, let me know what you think, if you have any suggestions, or if these kinds of variety streams and topical videos sound interesting to you. Maybe even topical Age of Empires videos as well could work, depending on what types of things you'd like to see me cover. I have a broad range of experience with the game, and I think I could expand that well beyond casting. And with your help sharing my videos around, then maybe, just maybe, I can make something interesting out of this. And now, this leaves me with one final thing. Most of you are probably aware that I've spent the last 4 years of my life trying to create the most fun and varied AI possible in AoE 2 HD to help new players learn the game and give them a powerful AI opponent to play against with their friends. I started this project as soon as the game was announced, so that groups of friends could play together. My goal was never to create the smartest AI though, because I don't think that the smartest AI possible is ever a fun opponent. But ResonanceBot is smart, and most importantly, it's actually loads of fun to play against. You can find a link to download it in the Steam Workshop below. Quick note though, the hardest difficulty is intended for 1800 plus rated players, and has been playtested extensively for that. I assure you that both myself and my playtesters can beat ResonanceBot without tower rushing or AI engine exploits, and if you're actually really good, you can do that too. But if you can't, it's just because it's intended on hardest for really skilled players, so honestly don't sweat it. I really recommend just picking one difficulty level lower than what you're used to. Hardest is so difficult because the regular AI on hardest is not enough of a challenge for the top players. 5 difficulty levels are honestly not enough, so my AI is 1 difficulty level up at all levels, so pick one below the level that you normally use. The regular AI is still really good though, and I enjoy it too, but ResonanceBot is a different style, so I encourage people not to compare them unfairly. The two AIs are not comparable because ResonanceBot scales the difficulty over the course of the game and is only designed to play against humans or other Resonance bots. Anyway, regardless of any contributions that I do receive, I will still release one last major update to ResonanceBot, but it is possible that I'm able to do more updates with your help. With my very heavy work schedule at my previous job, I really had no time to update ResonanceBot, and as we all know, Skybox's AI engine improvements and new features have made development very difficult. Every time a new patch comes out, it seems like something new and important either functions entirely differently or not at all, and then I have to adjust for that, only for the behavior to change again in a future patch. I would still like to update ResonanceBot again though. And regardless, I will release at least one major update to it. But with your support on Patreon, and if enough people would like me to do it, I can dedicate a little bit more time to the next major release, and maybe do even just one little patch before that. Basically, unless this video leads to an overwhelming amount of support, I'll still need to find a job soon. I want to find a job that I actually really enjoy though, and at a company that really values my contributions, and that's definitely going to take a little time. So in the meantime, I can invest more hours in YouTube, Twitch, and if enough people would like to see me do it, even a little with ResonanceBot, as long as I can keep the electricity on at my apartment. So to reiterate, there was a ton of stuff that we covered in this video, and it took me a lot longer to create than I thought, so here's the TLDR. Number 1. I recently hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a huge milestone, so everyone should definitely celebrate. That's why this video is so long. It's because I had a lot to say, and every single one of you rocks. Seriously. Everyone should give each other a high five, because this is awesome news. Number 2. Some less than awesome news. I am unfortunately suddenly unemployed, and I've created a Patreon to help pay the bills during my job transition period. Thank you so much in advance for those of you who are able to pledge. Number 3, and this is a major channel change starting in late December that I'd love your help communicating. People often ask me for more coaching content, and more content for experienced players, and now I'm going to be able to do both, while clearly differentiating between the two types. My community viewer games will either be coaching, new player tips, or in some cases, silly games that we can all appreciate. And I will also be mixing in more expert game casts that are tailored for experienced players and will contain in-depth analysis and advanced strategy tips. I want my channel to offer something for everyone, starting with players recommending my tutorials, then recommending my community viewer/coaching games, and then becoming experienced players who get to enjoy some expert game analysis. Number 4, there are a lot of awesome videos in the pipeline that can happen with your support, including a comprehensive Age of Empires 2 Expansions Balance video, a new Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds video, another episode of Break the Meta, this time in the usual style, potentially another Age of Empires 2 tutorial video even, and depending on the demand for it, maybe a few game reviews or topical discussion videos, either for AoE 2 or just general topics like how to start a channel. Number 5. There is one final update coming to ResonanceBot, and depending on the demand, I might do a smaller patch before that, but it is pretty time consuming and difficult. The major update to ResonanceBot might take a couple of months to complete, but I might do a smaller patch before that depending on the demand. Number 6. I'm interested in hearing your feedback on my suggestions about structuring my stream and new types of videos. Number 7. It would be fantastic if I could convince a lot of you to pledge as little as just $1 to my Patreon page, as it does make a huge difference. And number 8. Feel free to leave me any miscellaneous feedback, suggestions, words of encouragement, your favorite videos of mine, what you like about my style, or whatever you feel like telling me. It's always a joy to read your comments. Oh yeah, and number 9, which I keep forgetting to mention, I will be live streaming at least 2 days a week until I find a new job, and the extra stream will probably be on Fridays at the usual time. But I may end up live streaming all over the place, so definitely make sure to follow me on Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter, so that way you know when I'm streaming next. Please take a moment to follow me on each of those. I'd love to have you at my live streams, and they're a great place to say hello or ask me questions. Number 10. It's extremely helpful to support the content that I do for games beyond just Age of Empires 2, to help grow the Age of Empires community, my channel, and also to help keep things fresh for both me and my longtime subscribers who don't play AoE as much anymore. It makes a big difference, so hopefully I encourage some of you to also check out the variety playlist below and watch my future uploads. And so, I think that just about wraps up this month's update video for the channel. As always, thank you so much for the support. It would be fantastic if I could convince at least 100 people that watch this video to pledge as little as $1 a month, and keep that pledge for the foreseeable future. It really does make a huge difference. If you'd also like to help me out, I've got a link to my Variety Games playlist below, and links to other awesome videos and my social media pages as well. Another quick way to help me out and get some major news and my opinions on them is by following me on Facebook and Twitter. Those two pages in particular have grown a lot recently, and that's seriously great news for the channel. I hope to grow those pages further over time as I get in the routine of posting. It's pretty tough producing videos and streaming, given my numerous debilitating health issues like my severe asthma and allergies, as well as my previously long work hours, but I've always managed because goddamn is it so much fun to spend all this time with you on YouTube and Twitch. There's just something so cathartic about being able to express myself like this, and to also create a community where everyone feels like they can do the same. It always warms my heart to read your comments and chat messages. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the very near future with some more uploads and Twitch streams. And lastly, special thanks to my existing Patreon supporters before this video. That would be thank you to Mothump, Super Ranger, Ready Teddy, Frames, Sith Spawn, Hutchie, Gineapple, ABC Melanie, Ayad, Joseph, Arx, Edward, Dan, Philip Martin, Justin, Ecthelion, Flash, Pete, Gel, Kinnereth, Russell, Timon, Mark, Herrick, Sci-Fi, Rabbit Tortoise, Alex, Killian, and random internet user 766. I really appreciate it. In the future though, I obviously won't be able to thank every single Patreon supporter by name in my update videos, but I will still do that for the higher tiers. I just wanted to do it this time to make this update video extra special. And rest assured that I read the names of all of my Patreon supporters, Twitch subscribers, and donors, so I know who you are, and I think you are absolutely awesome, so thank you. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I look forward to reading all your comments as soon as the video is posted.